back and explore the paranormal with us. Welcome to the Necromancer Live Show. This stream will begin in time. Thank you for your patience. Grab a drink, sit back, and explore the paranormal with us. Welcome to the Necromancer Live Show. This stream will begin in time. Thank you for your patience. Grab a drink, sit back, and explore the paranormal with us. Welcome to the Necromancer Live Show. This stream will begin in time. Thank you for your patience. Grab a drink, sit back, and explore the paranormal with us. Welcome to the Necromancer Live Show. This stream will begin in time. Thank you for your patience. Grab a drink, sit back, and explore the paranormal with us.
As far back as I can remember, I dreamt of a normal life. A life filled with normal things. A life where monsters don't live in closets or under the bed. A life where ghosts aren't real. I just wanted to be normal. But that didn't happen. It wasn't meant to be. Since my early 20s, I have experienced profound paranormal events that would change my life. Extreme poltergeist activity, living amongst those that have departed this earth in ways unimaginable. It has affected my loved ones and children with no end in sight. I could hear things, see things, and feel things not of this world. I asked myself if this was a gift or a curse. With the help of my mother and close friends, I emerged a paranormal investigator. Since 2013, I have been on a relentless journey to learn about the paranormal. I invite you to follow me into the unknown. Welcome to the Necromancer Live Show.
Hello and welcome to the Necromancer Live Show. I'm your host, Joseph Brown, and thank you very much for tuning in tonight. We have another show with another great topic. We got Missy with us. How are you, Missy?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well.
I'm not ignoring anyone tonight. My restream is not working.
Uh-oh. And it does look like the chat is not working. Let's see if I can fix the chat. Yeah. The screen will be black just for a second. Hold on. I think anyway. Give me a sec. It
No.
works for a second, it goes away. So
Yeah.
that is annoying. I wonder if I could try another chat key. I don't know. Let me see if I can add another browser. Let's see if it'll just let me add one here. It's not going to work. I don't think so. Why isn't it working? That's so annoying.
It is.
That is annoying.
So I'm gonna do my best here with what I got, and we'll get it. We'll get it.
I'm sorry, guys. Usually the chat will pop up on this scene, but it's not doing it on the scene. It's doing it over here, but it'll work for a second and then it don't work. That is weird. Anyway, the show must go on. I could see the chat, so I'm not worried. It's just not going to appear on the screen, which is annoying. Tonight, we will speak plainly about the legitimacy of psychic mediums. There is a spectrum of legitimacy. We'll say it like that. And hopefully people who has like some skepticism or maybe like an overblown belief will maybe see things more in the middle after they watch. That's my hope. I don't know. Since Missy does a lot of psychic stuff, I'm going to be talking to you directly just because you're there, looking at your face. If I would ask you the general question, how legitimate is psychic, like people who claim to be psychic mediums? Like, I know it's a really broad question. So you personally, like, answer it, just you looking at yourself over the years from when you started feeling like when you first started believing you were connecting with what you believed were spirits, entities, and till now. I know it's been up and down, but can you give us a brief overview of that?
I still question myself. I question myself every time. Like, I'll question you, was that right? I don't know what I'm talking about.
So why do you question yourself?
I guess that goes back to the confidence in myself or what I'm doing. I don't know. I just always have.
Do you feel confident at anything?
No.
So it has nothing to do with your abilities to do things. It's just how you feel about yourself in general.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, pretend like you're not, pretend like you do not lack self-esteem. Pretend like you have normal self-esteem. And when you've taken a look at your whole path through your life being connected with spirit, how would you gauge it? How would you tell people how legitimate it is compared to what people may see on movies, on TV, or even social media? Oh, it's working now. That's great.
Wow.
Nice, Darren. I see you there, Desiree. How are you?
Hi,
We'll
Joseph.
see if Missy can answer this real quick, and then we can start getting into this. I'm making her do things.
I guess if what I'm saying correlates with the location or, a known entity in the location, then I'm okay. But other than that, I'm like, I don't believe a thing that came out of my mouth.
Do you believe others that say they connect with spirit? Or do you have to like get to know them to see if they're trustworthy first? Or How do you gauge that?
When me and Jess were investigating together, like when you would send us down the hall at OSR or whatever, I believed everything she said. But I would say something and she'd be like, I want to do that. And I'm like, but, you know, I'm like, I don't know if that's right or not. She's like, don't question yourself. She would be like, don't second guess yourself. Just, you know, whatever comes out of your mouth, you have to believe is, you know, right until somebody tells you otherwise.
Do you feel like you can mess yourself up, block yourself, do stuff like that?
Yeah.
What's up, Edward? Keith Edwards. Sorry, I called you by your last name. I'm like, I looked at your last name first, and it's been a long day. But yeah, do you feel like if you don't have confidence or you're always second guessing yourself, do you think that hinders you?
Yeah.
There's a lot to it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's complex.
Yep.
It's a constant back and forth with believing and being confident, and then constantly questioning everything and not being confident at all. And it kind of is connected with your how you're feeling about yourself and about everything day to day, and maybe even moment to moment.
Right.
Let me know if you are a psychic medium in the chat. Let me know if you can relate to this. Let us know that you disagree, if it's different, everything. We will not bash you or argue with you or try to, tell you to believe anything different. This is a completely open forum. Everybody's entitled to their beliefs, and we want to know what everyone thinks and believes. So, I am very skeptical of what I'm going to call the TV variety psychic medium, because most of them will tell you that they're 100% accurate. Most of them tell you that they're never wrong. Most of them will tell you that they have an extraordinary ability to do what they do on a moment's notice, anytime, any day, and that it takes an extreme amount of energy that costs time, effort, money to do, as a practice. So I feel like there is so much room for people to fraud and lie and be delusional that it is very smart to scrutinize in a way that is not mean or disrespectful. But I feel like anybody who claims to have the abilities needs to be subjected, be open to the possibility of scrutiny and, skepticism, because, hey, we're talking about an extraordinary thing. Did you want to get to any of these comments?
Yeah. Desiree said, I don't consider myself a psychic or a medium. However, I can walk through a place and hear and see things. I am very skeptical of those who call themselves psychics or mediums.
Right. So I feel like Desiree is in the camp of there's stuff going on, but is it something based in reality, or is it all in my imagination? And I feel like that is the general area where most people need to be. So when you're investigating and you have these things pop in to your perception, me personally, and I would say for when I'm looking at other people doing it, I would want them and myself to find things that correlate with it, whether it be something that I find through historical research, through interviewing folks in the location, or, folks that are connected to whatever we're investigating or whatever I'm connecting with, and, actual documented paranormal phenomena or anomalous phenomena like unexplained voices, anything like that, right? So it's very important I feel like, to stay in that balance area to where I'm picking up on stuff. I believe it feels real to them. When I go to a place, it feels real to me. And I feel like that is important to be successful as a psychic. Now, I want to legitimize the psychic phenomena. If you look at parapsychology, it takes a huge look at the psychic phenomena. It tries to explain most, if not all, what we perceive as ghosts and the paranormal through some type of psychic phenomena. And over the years, I have actually seen a lot of things that would make me believe that it's more of psychically manifested, if that's a great way to put it. Christy says, I don't know if I'm psychic, but I'm right there like Missy. I hear and see things a lot, get woke up spirits, but then I go back and question myself. I am going crazy. Derek says, not too bad. Hey, what's up, Derek? So I feel like that when people call themselves a psychic and call themselves a medium and then they advertise and then they put themselves out there, you're kind of setting yourself up for, scrutiny, for skepticism, for the folks who don't believe in it at all to try to find the charlatans, and fraud that, that you see when people, make those claims. So let's just say right off the rip, let me know what you guys think in the chat. Is it better to say nothing? Don't label yourself a psychic medium at all. And I would tend to say that most people have some psychic ability, some more than others, and it's a good thing to try to figure out what type of psychic phenomena is occurring in each individual and try to find a consensus on the faculties of the average Joe or the average Jane when it comes to psychic phenomena. Because I feel like that kind of research and that type of approach is way better than trying to find some, witch from the deep forest who can, see all your illnesses and all your diseases and talk to all your dead, elders and yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Darren Smith, I've seen and witnessed hundreds of people who say they are psychic, and out of all those people, I've only been convinced by 6 individuals that actually believe have those abilities. I feel like if you're like an exceptional at it, it's rare. It's not common. Sam, so I would tend to be in the boat Darren is.
I don't want to cast.
Do you want?
I don't want to cast I don't know what that word
aspirations.
is. Aspirations on anyone's beliefs, but I am extremely skeptical of psychics or mediums. I did my first paranormal investigation back in 1978. None I've met are genuine.
So the reason I see a lot of people having problems with people with those claims is because of cold reading, and we're going to get into that here in a moment. But we're getting some messages.
Christy Lynn, sending you love and light. Send me a message now because I feel something special about you, and it's for the genius in your life.
Yeah, someone's wanting to make a psychic connection with us already.
With Sam and Christy, yeah.
Yeah, please don't solicit anything in the chat. This is not what we're doing. We're just having a chat about that. So if you provide those type of services, please don't ask in the chat if you don't mind. I'd appreciate it.
I think she's a scammer, LMAO, Christy said.
It's possible, but I don't know. It's interesting when you look at cold reading. Mm-hmm. You see a lot of, let's just say, you see a lot of opportunities for people to take advantage
Oh yeah.
So a lot of people do cold reading. Well, I don't know by a lot, but I've seen people cold read and not realize they're doing it. They
Right.
feel like they have abilities, but they're using like an organic method of cold reading to get to the information they need to get to. So a red flag would be someone who is cold reading. They're asking questions to get bits of information to find out certain things about your personality, about your life, to see what kind of person you are, what your interests are, what your shortcomings are, anything. They're asking you questions, probing questions to find something out that they can, once they get a hit, they can start, constructing a reading on. And we can watch a video. If you guys want, we can watch like a YouTube video of someone demonstrating cold reading if you want. But I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory, but if you've never heard of it, I would definitely let people see some video demonstrations of cold reading. A lot of people who take advantage of people in the paranormal field and in the psychic community do cold reading to gain funds from people who have lost loved ones. I mean, there is a demand for this type of work. And let's just face it, psychic phenomena does not work like you hit a button and all this information is presented to you at will. In my opinion, this is not how it is. And I feel like if you put that type of expectation on yourself, whether you realize it 100% or not, you will cold read or you will reach for information that is not actually, you're not using your intuition or using some type of psychic ability to do. I feel like the people who are genuinely gifted have no idea how they do it, and they're skeptical of themselves, and they don't look at themselves as some type of mystic or anything important, and they hide from being being out in public or being noticed because they realize the attack that could be upon them if they did. I feel like the really, really, truly gifted people that do that and do have the ability to do that are probably locked in the basement somewhere with the government doing tests on them and having them do things. That's just my opinion. Do you want to catch up with this chat here real quick?
Yeah. Carmen said, hello, guys. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Rob Dog said, there is a definite difference between claims of being psychic and being a sensitive person. Justin has a good point on cold readings. There are people who don't realize they are doing that.
Right.
Darren said, plus, I believe there's a lot of people who are sensitive to paranormal and at different levels. Doesn't mean they're psychic either.
Yes. I believe that 100%.
David Wolliver said, Rebecca is one of the only ones that I truly trust.
What's up, David? How are you doing?
Josh Bender said, in the house.
Josh is in the house? That's weird that it takes away the chat until someone makes a new chat. That's what I say. I have no idea how these things pop in my head like they do, and then I wonder where they come from and why. So one thing that I look at that could be a possibility that has nothing to do with the paranormal is people can be very perceptive, and they could be inferring stuff by subconsciously processing information that they're not aware of. And it could be anything. Like the true test would be to blind yourself, deafen yourself, and cut off all your senses and then see if you get anything at all from zero stimuli. And I haven't seen any of those tests, data from any of those tests if they're done properly. But that would be very interesting to see. But I feel like when you go into a location and you're seeing how the place looks and you're feeling through the place, I know I especially feel like people who use the word empath to explain maybe some paranormal abilities that they have a tendency to be very perceptive and intuitive when it comes to reading the room, especially if they've suffered through any type of childhood trauma or abuse, or have been in relationships that are traumatic or dysfunctional, because people use self-defense mechanisms subconsciously to cope with those situations. And I feel like if you are subjected to those type of situations long enough, you will be reading a lot of situations, even subconsciously, so you know how to navigate through them and know how to deal with them if they come as a self-defense. Hey folks, hit that like button. It likes that. That's right. The like button likes it. And it helps the algorithm, and it helps out the channel. I know some people may not be born into abilities like me. I am not born with the gift, and the gifts are just starting to come in. So many levels of psychic. Yeah, I feel like if you got into paranormal field research and you didn't realize that you had anything going on, and then you start to, you definitely want to examine those closely, because it definitely could all be in your head. That's why when we go out and do field research, we definitely try to do things in ways to find evidence that our psychic faculties, if there are any, are working like we believe they are. Double-blind experiments, not going, into a location, knowing the history of it, so on and so forth. If you look back on our documentaries and our episodes that we produce of our investigations, you'll see the stuff we do, and we're constantly trying to make those better. And I feel like as long as you keep doing that, and you keep looking at the scientific method, and you keep on looking at ways that skeptics and scientists want us to do it, that's the way to do it. Let's see here. Chrissy says that makes sense. That's a very interesting thought about childhood trauma. Yeah, that's not my thought. I have heard many people say that. That's been in the spiritual, community and the psychic community say that. And I that's a lot. Psychologists say that too. When I study psychology, I see a lot of psychologists bringing that up, and I tend to believe that there is at least some truth to that, if not, why we're doing what we're doing. But I definitely would take a look at it, Desiree, to see, kind of feel that out, because, triggers are out there, and if you have any type of PTSD, any type of anxiety, anything like that, there are triggers out there, and they could be so subtle and so subconscious. Just be wary of that. We keep expanding our so-called third eye. Stop drinking the fluoride. That's what they say, right? Don't drink the water, the tap water. Missy, is there anything that you can kind of offer? I know we've done experiments, like we've done fasting and not eating meat at certain points. Can you kind of reflect back on when we tried the fasting, if that done anything? I feel like you said it did.
I didn't make it, remember?
Well, you did a week. You did it like
I
a
did
week.
Yeah.
And then you ate the egg.
It may have helped a little bit. Like, it heightened your, anxiety level, I guess. Or,
You don't remember.
You're more focused on what you need to do. You're not worried about what noise your stomach is making, or, especially in our group, we're but you're not worried about what your stomach is going to do, or, whether you're going to have to go to the bathroom in 10 minutes or, whatever. So you're more, that sense is more heightened, well, if I hear this, it's probably going to be legitimate because ain't nothing else making noise.
Okay, this says, let me see if I can bring it over here. Okay. Many spiritual traditions include accounts of miraculous events and impressive supernormal powers that appear to be inexplicable in terms of current scientific understanding. Such phenomena, known collectively as psi, are sometimes associated with fasting and vegetarianism. For example, shamans may use fasting to support apparent abilities such as healing and controlling the weather, and many yogis who are strict vegetarians are also said to exhibit powers such as psychokinesis and telepathy. In more modern times, a number of authors have related fasting and vegetarianism to both spiritual and psychic development. However, there has so far been little empirical research into the potential relationship. My poster will present an initial analysis and interviews with the 7 psyops, blah, 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 blah. So, seeing that and taking a look at it, there in spiritual tradition, fasting kind of gets you closer to, the divine, or closer to spirit, in Christianity, and all the Abrahamic faiths, including Judaism and Catholicism and stuff like that. That's what made me curious. I wanted to see if people could be more psychic or more connect with spirit better when they fasted, or at least did a vegetarian diet. Now, I do want to do research like this again with you, Missy, if you're open to it. I'll let you decide how hardcore you want to do it, because here's the options. We can do like a 1 day fast, or 1 to 3. I wouldn't want to exceed 3,
Okay.
because then you're like risking your health at that point. But or we could do a vegetarian diet. And we can do variations. Like you can do like no meat, but you can have eggs, or there might be some variation to where you can cheat a little bit. But I feel like you can decide what you want to do, and we can kind of gauge if you do like a 1 to 2 to 3 day fast. What does that do within like a week period? But we would want to line these up with investigations, or maybe some type of scenario where you could. Purposefully, purposely try to connect with something. But I feel like we would have really good results if we went somewhere completely new that you haven't been before.
Yeah. Every time I go out on an investigation with my team, I have newer experiences that I can't explain. As in, I sometimes get pictures of spirits of the buildings. If no picture comes, I end up getting feelings. I don't know where this info comes from. Does it count as psychic ability, or is it something else?
Good question. You should try to find out how to test them. And this is partly the reason for the show. How can we test these things? So when you go into a location, try not to do any research at all. Write down your experiences and whatever you pick up along the way, and then after you're done, see if they line up with anything. The best way to do it is to have someone do the double blind or the blind experiment for you, so you eliminate your own analysis, and then it can appear more third party, more believable and legitimate, more objective maybe, because I feel like it would be almost impossible to be objective if you're doing it yourself. It's going to be somewhat subjective if somebody else was doing it, but maybe a third party person, someone who's not like completely skeptical or not completely believer, someone in the middle can help you do that. That's what I would suggest you do.
Hi, Tony. Missed you
What's
too.
up, man? What's going on, brother? Justin Brown, you are aware of my occurrences. What are you talking about? Thanks for liking the stream, Wes. You're always appreciated, man. Sorry, Justin. I had a hardcore carnivore. Not going to switch to salad. That's what food eats. Hey, man. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you not to eat meat, man. I'm just throwing it out there. This is just informational. Please do not, think that I'm going to tell you not to eat meat. Because I know. There's a lot of food out there that is beneficial, especially protein.
He said the jail in my channeling. Silly.
I don't know if I know what I'm talking about.
Tony, the jail.
I know he does channeling.
He said you're aware of my occurrences. The jail in my channeling.
Oh, Yeah. Obviously. Yeah, I've documented it.
He's just making a joke, bro.
All right. Well, I don't want to offend anybody. You know how easy it is to do out there. You don't want to come across bossy or anything. What's up, Shane Wood? How farts cause global warming. So what do you do? We do with the cows after we stop eating meat. Hey, man, I don't know. We just probably cook ourselves to death. We got to eat the cows. Yep. Hopefully you're healing, man.
You can eat the cow and I'll eat the salad.
I've been on vitamin B12 complex for the last couple of days. I was supposed to be on it like a while back, but then I stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that a lot of my minor health issues are associated with low or folate, methylated folate.
Yep, could be. Cows have more cows.
Yep, that's right. They got to procreate more burgers.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's an example of like someone who's blatantly taking advantage of somebody? I know there's a couple of the TV and the radio psychics years past have been exposed.
I'm not saying names, but yeah, when they charge you a ginormous amount of money and they charge one person a ginormous amount of money to tell them things that they already know, when they tell you things and you're like, what?
Carrie always comes into the show. Well, then, he has reached this live stream that he was looking for.
We still need leather goods. Just saying.
We do. Leather is a good thing to have. It is a good commodity. What about these trolls that try message us on Facebook, telling they give us a free reading? If it's free, I guess it's harmless. With quotation marks, harmless. Let's just face it, folks. People, there's always somebody out there to make, a ruckus. It's always one person or, a group of people that ruin it for everyone. I feel like our good friend Kenny Biddle basically doesn't believe in the paranormal because of a group that came out to Gettysburg while he was investigating and ruined it for him. I know that's probably not the whole reason, but that's the reason he uses when you ask him. So it's fascinating to me that if you haven't had an experience, a profound experience that you believe there's absolutely no explanation for, I can see how that could affect, your take on the whole idea. Is there life after death? Is there ghosts? Is there spirits? Is there God? Everything. I understand that, but there's so many people out there that are ruining it. And if you're on the fence or if you're skeptical and you're watching right now, I don't want you to completely poo-poo on everybody, on the whole subject of psychic phenomena, just because there are people taking advantage of people out there. There's bad doctors, there's bad, care providers, there's bad everybody out there, politicians, They're not all bad, they're not all liars, they're not all thieves. How can you protect yourself from something you don't even believe in? Well, if you don't believe in it, there's no sense of protecting yourself.
You wouldn't feel a need to protect yourself if you didn't believe in it.
Right. Yeah.
Poo-poo or pew.
Either or, man. Whichever you prefer.
Shane Wood said to curb global warming, we should eat more cows. And then he said leather. Oh, yeah. Joseph said leather in the bedroom is nice. Just kidding.
Hey, man. Whatever spices it up.
Darren said it's an easy thing to fake because not too many people know whether you're real or fake.
Yeah.
Spiritual warfare. We are fighting the unseen.
Yeah, it's a funny thing. Some days I'll literally wake up and be like, "Is the whole paranormal a sham? Is this all in our head? Is this all a lie?" But then those few moments throughout my life, I'll just look back on them, and I'm like, something's going on. We don't know what it is. You know what you want to try to avoid is if you've lost somebody and you're seeking out a psychic or a medium to try to connect, don't do that. At all costs, do not do that. The reason why is because A, the obvious reason, people take advantage of you. That's why. B is you're only prolonging your suffering, and I feel like for the most part you could be impeding your healing and your mourning and your healthy processing of their passing. I feel like there is a rare case that I was involved with that I believe that 100% a mother and father's daughter who died in their home was lingering around because they couldn't let her go. And once I told them that and showed them pretty crazy evidence that there's something at least pretending to be her or is her there, they immediately took my advice and the activity stopped. So you have to ask yourself, are you letting yourself, be in a worse situation because you won't let go or you can't let them go? But
Or
if
like,
things are... Go ahead.
Or like when you're getting ready for bed, your Google Home starts playing She Talks to Angels at 11 o'clock at night.
You want to be careful with stuff like that. You just want to put it on a shelf, remember it, but don't jump to any conclusions. LO and Nope, there is something definitely out there we just can't explain because who does have the answers to paranormal world? Answers? I don't know. Ideas, feelings? Plenty of people do. I believe in the paranormal, but most of what's on YouTube and TikTok is total meadow muffins. There are only a handful of real paranormal investigators around. There's more out there than you think, dude, but there's so much garbage that it's hard to find. It makes it hard. If the gift was fake, then tell me what happened at the jail on camera. Justin, Missy, Derek, Shrine, Josh, and Bias, Darren Smith. If Justin is fake, how did he see or what the shown to the image of my dead cousin at the park that he saw? I don't know. I have no idea how it works. I mean, I can theorize and guess, but there's a lot of things that science don't know about consciousness in the brain. So I feel like we're not at the point we can answer that. It's up to us to believe if it's real or not based on, the situation. I don't doubt the unseen. The devil is real. People don't believe in him, so they think there is nothing to protect themselves from. Me personally, Shane, I feel like there is external good and evil forces. What those are can be foggy. I believe that energy can manifest in many ways, but I don't feel like there is a fundamental, concrete anything like the devil itself, like God, how we personify the good and the evil. I believe that our personifications manifest into things. And if you want to know more about that, you can check out our episode on egregores, which is not too long ago on the live chapters of YouTube. Very, very interesting.
Rob said the biggest trick the devil ever played was convincing people he didn't exist.
That's what they say. One thing that I've learned in recent years is when you look at life after death, if we have a soul and our spirit persists, our consciousness persists after our physical death, then scientists and philosophers say that our consciousness, our soul exists outside of our body. It's not an emergent property of our brain, right? So if that's the case, if our consciousness exists outside of the human brain, the things that come with that or exist and are real outside the human brain, which is good and evil. Good and our souls are in the balance of good and evil. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, if you believe that that stuff's outside and external from our body, all the other stuff is too. Because some people think good and evil are just, inherent properties of, human behavior that manifests in the human brain. Well, if you don't believe that, then all that stuff out there has to exist somewhere out there. Because I feel it strange that people who believe in spirits in the afterlife don't believe in demons and the devil. I feel like if you do believe in spirits in the afterlife, you have to be open to all the other stuff too. Just keep that in mind. Shane's being misunderstood.
That's what he said. He said, I've studied esoteric knowledge. All is illusion. That's why it's called faith, brother. There is energy, only energy.
Yep, I agree with that.
Antonio said, I would have loved to have been a part of this podcast. Can we do a volume 2? I'm
sorry? Oh, Anthony? Mm-hmm. Can we do a volume 2?
Yeah.
We definitely talk about this subject, at least a handful of times over the years. It's getting hard to find things new to talk about since we've been doing it for so long. It's increasingly being difficult. If you're focused on negativity, you get negative, hence the devil. I feel like you can be a victim of circumstance when it comes to the devil as well. Nothing you did, brought you into that circumstance, but things, that people who you're connected with and came before you brought you into those circumstances. Like if you look at curses and you look at family heritage when it comes to that type of stuff, I have seen cases where that seems to be true. So that's something you want to take a look at too, Shane. But I love that you're out there studying esoteric stuff, because I do that all the time.
People don't believe because they are looking in the wrong place. The world is a reflection of our minds.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, and I tend to agree with that. Negative energy is a term of vampires' energy. There are definitely some energy vampires out there. Definitely. Pretty crazy stuff. Pretty crazy. Missy, have you ever encountered evil?
No, not that I'm aware of.
I am glad. There is so many people that haven't encountered anything evil, like externally, Bible or energy evil. Just pure evil.
Christy said, I have. LOL.
Yep, Christy has. It was my bad. It's always my bad. Christy's good though.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Your mom said that the two entities that had attached themselves to me weren't very nice people, but I don't think she ever said anything about negative or, evil.
Yeah, I feel like she said that those people were once living and what they did in life was considered evil, but they weren't inherently pure evil. Right. The things I'm talking about are inhuman. It was never human.
Right. No, I don't think so.
What's up, Deb? How you doing?
Hi, Deb.
Sure, Shane. Let me know how you want to do it. See if this works. No, that ain't gonna work. I will put my email Let's see which one is. We'll just put it. If you can see that, that's my email. I know you probably can't click on it. If you go to Interface Death's Facebook page, there you can get a hold of me there on Messenger or on WhatsApp. I have taken my private phone off the internet for now. It's just causing too many issues. But you can message me personally on Facebook if you want. However, whatever works for you, man. That's good.
Or you can message the Interface Death page.
That's what I said.
Yeah. On Facebook, on Twitter, on X, on Instagram.
If you message me on Instagram, I won't see that for a month. I need to turn on the notifications because I went on there today and I noticed that Missy, Aowen, and Christy all sent me stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Shane. Sounds good. Yeah, there's a couple YouTube video channels that I use for esoteric stuff. Justin Sludge of Esoterica is good, and I also like, other than the Y-Files, I like Mr. Mythos. He is good. But I'm sure there's a lot of stuff out there that I haven't seen that would be good. I put so much research into my brain, I can't remember it all. Which one? Justin Sludge or one of the other ones I mentioned? Yeah, all three of the people I mentioned are good.
Sam Thomas said, I think she is talking about
Y-Files.
Encounter and Evil. She said, I did when I was really depressed and very angry at this world for many, many years. I'm coming back now. Not easy, but it's happening.
See you, Carmen. Who said that?
Sam Thomas. The Necromancer page is not showing up.
I know. Every time I try to reply on it, it goes away. And I'm sorry, Sam. I can't see your comments, and it angers me that Restream is bugging out on that. I don't understand why.
Good night, Carmen. Missy, do you ever keep your abilities to yourself because of the medium stigma? Yeah.
Not always.
Not always, but most of the time, I try to not, I don't want to say anything
you basically
about
put
it.
yourself out there as far as the investigations go, but other than that, you really don't. Like,
Right.
You're not on Facebook every day,
Right.
on the psychic medium podium and shit.
The universe is a cocksucker, Derek said.
It definitely can be. It definitely can be. Huh?
What happened?
Oh, you're asking Derek?
Schreiner?
Well, with recent events in your guys' life, I mean, he's not wrong.
Oh, that's true.
It's not wrong to say that.
Nope. Not really.
Yeah, Deb, I feel like it's not a bad idea to not advertise that you have abilities if you believe you do. But I feel like you should work with people who are open to investigating the whole psychic stuff, like me and others. You definitely should work with them. What do you think, Missy? Should she work with them?
Yeah.
Has it worked out for you so far?
So far.
Just in general. It does. I wasn't told that someone, off-shift shipping associate, was on vacation, so I had to stay 2 hours over, not knowing it until the end of the day.
Oh, jeez.
So the universe did one to me today. Everybody else knew but me.
Wow.
Did something happen, Deb, or you just got a lot going on? At least you can stop by and say hi to us if we're live. We won't mind.
Well, she's a new bride.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she moved.
That'll do it.
So.
Being married will definitely do it.
Yeah.
It is hard.
Hard to be around dead energy all the time. It is. Your heart needs to be in the right place. Energy, whether negative or positive, attracts like energy.
It seems to, but it's not. There are other things that are involved, but for the most part, yes. Married. That'll do it. I feel like me and Christy, when we got together, our paranormal lives combined. We'd become super paranormal couple. It just fit right in. I remember the time where Christy said, if something happens and we get a recording, when we went to a certain place, she's like going to believe the whole thing, and she's all in, and it happened. Same with me. I keep it to myself mostly.
I noticed that readings or cleansings really wear me out.
It can. It definitely can. I know being in certain places wear me out. Being around certain people wear me out.
I think I brought a lot of the paranormal with me, Christy said.
I feel like you did. I feel like we combined into a even weirder situation. We have so many stories and things that's happened that we just can't explain away. Negative energy. There's nothing negative about Christy. No. Although she did make my house that we used to live in more active when she moved in. But that's just psychokinetic.
The only thing that's negative about Christy is if you make her really, really, really mad. And I've never actually seen her like that, so...
We should get Christy really, really mad just so you can see it.
I don't want to see it.
I'm just joking.
I mean, I've seen her run around a cabin screaming because there was a cicada in it.
There was also a bat, wasn't there? Or was it just a
No,
cicada?
it was just a cicada. But he was chasing her around like it was a bat.
I wonder what shenanigans are going to happen this year at the cabin.
I hope a lot, because I need to laugh.
I'm just going to stay in let's see how long I can stay in the hot tub. In the morning, I'm just going to get into it and stay in it all day and not get out of it. Yeah. Yeah, when Sai's mom, we had to deal with Sai's mom, that's when she was pissed the most.
Yeah.
I think. That I can remember. So, Missy, the answer to are psychic mediums legitimate is maybe. So, if you can back up your claims with some type of objective evidence from third-party investigators, you have something going on at that point. If you don't subject yourself to that, most likely, there's no way to legitimize you. You can keep the things to yourself, have your own beliefs. That is totally fine. There is nothing wrong with that. No one can stop you or should shame you, for believing those things. Everybody's entitled to believe what they want to believe based on their own, view of their reality. Mm-hmm. Justin, how's your mother doing these days? I would really like to talk to her. I just love her. She just chilling in the woods. She just chills. She doesn't do a whole lot. She's retired, and as far as that, she's doing well. But yeah, please, if you want to help legitimize psychic phenomena, mediumship, what have you, try to get into some type of group that investigates the claims. I feel like that's the only way to objectively legitimize it. That doesn't happen a whole lot, but sometimes it does. Susie, I've definitely talked to a couple of mediums that were definitely not right, but the money was still worth the amusement. If you say so. If you say so, Susie. Thank you for commenting, though. There's definitely been people tell me that they've went to psychics and they were dead on and they got their money's worth, or maybe if they didn't get charged, they were still right. And some say they were completely ripped off. I feel like you really need to check your psychological, compass when you go into that situation, because you could be compromised by your situation. Most people that go to psychics or seek them out have either lost somebody or have something going on in their life, and they're looking to the spirit world for guidance. And they're willing to, when people buy things, they really want to, find reasons to legitimize their purchase. They don't want to say, well, I'm just, what's the word? Irresponsible. I just spend money irresponsibly. Most people legitimize or try to make themselves feel like they're responsible when they buy things. If you're vulnerable and you can't tell. Yeah, that's true. So yeah. We're going to be wrapping up this show, but here's my final thoughts. Do not seek out a psychic medium to connect with lost loved ones or anything that has to do with anything important. If you want to do it for fun, that's fine. No harm in that. But if you feel like you're in a compromised situation, or in a situation where you feel like you possibly could be taken advantage of, please do not put yourself in that situation. That's my final warning. And also, if you want to find legitimacy in psychic phenomena, go to a legitimate, scientific, objective research group who does that, which is, for example, Interface Death, and we're going to get to that. If you, oops, wrong button. If you go to our social media accounts, you will find that we try to do that. Over the years, we've gotten better, made mistakes, learned from them, but we legitimately try to learn how to do those things. And we actually have a paranormal event coming up May 4th at the Old Licking County Jail, where we're doing classes on how to research the paranormal, how to use equipment, so on and so forth. And you get to investigate the jail with those classes in your pocket. So if you're interested in that, go to interfacedeath.net, interfacedeath.com, go to the events page. I will link it on YouTube. Let's see if we can find the link for that. There, it's there. We'll go to Facebook. Go there. And we'll go to, that's the only thing I can comment on. So yeah, check those links out. I tried to put it in the video description, but I failed. Please extend your thanks to Patreon. Everybody you see there on the list can help out and contribute money to help support our production and our paranormal research. Thank you very much for everybody who's been doing that over the years. It's huge. I mean, without that, we definitely couldn't be doing what we're doing. So check out our Patreon link in the description if you want to see how to help us out there. And that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. You guys are awesome. Thanks for joining the chat. Thanks for letting us know how you think, how you feel. All your input is appreciated and useful and valuable to us. So if you like what you see and you're new to this live stream, we stream every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, almost every day, or almost every week rather. And we talk about the paranormal. We even expand into UFOs, aliens, cryptids, all kinds of stuff. All right. You guys have a good night. You have a good week, a good weekend. Happy Valentine's Day. And we'll see you next time. We have been peering into shadow for 5 long years, struggling to see what lurks in the night. Working from the ground up and collaborating with hundreds of paranormal investigators, we have been able to develop a product that not only became the best night vision illuminator on the market,
but became the last light that our customers would purchase for the rest of their lives.
What Deadlight has done for me as an investigator has really kind of changed the gamut of how we investigate, because before Deadlight, you used to get the little wonky lights you buy off of, offline and stuff like that, which sometimes didn't always work. They were really glitchy. You guys sent me some Deadlights. I used them for Paranormal Warehouse. We did some filming for Epic Haunts, and I'm blown away.
I think the quality of the merchandise that you get from Deadlight LLC, I think is top notch. The fact that it's handmade, by Josh, and the quality of it, and the craftsmanship that he puts into it, the time and effort that he puts into it, speaks volumes when the merchandise is received. The fact that he honored all of his work, pretty much lifetime guarantee to fix it if something goes wrong, I think stands out too. The quality of the product and the customer service is top notch.
Whether you are a seasoned investigator or a beginner, Deadlight has a lighting solution tailored to your needs and your equipment. Deadlight is made for all who are not afraid to see what lurks in the night.